Getting geek. Getting geek. Getting geek with Danny Allen. Getting geek. Getting geek. Getting geek with Danny Allen.
Okay, alright. What is going on, everybody? This is episode 33 of Getting Geek with your boy, Danny Allen. Yep. Back at it. Another week, another podcast. Yep. Okay, so there's some DC news, and there's some Marvel news, and Lord of the Rings is coming back. We're going to talk about it on today's episode of the podcast. Yes. So let's get into this DC stuff, okay? So Aquaman 2 is coming out in December. People are getting scared. They're getting nervous. Rumors of people walking out of test screenings, and they're changing the plot lines, and the Batman cameos are totally removed this time around. And it's $1 billion franchise, so they got to keep making them, right? Well, that's probably why Jason Momoa is going to be Lobo in the future, because this movie sucks apparently. And that's unfortunate. I had a fun time with Aquaman, the first one. It was fine. I didn't like how it was kind of brighter than I thought it would be. I was expecting more of like a Game of Thrones in the ocean, but then they had like the octopus playing the drums and all that. And I just think James Wan should have stuck to his horror roots more. And he's trying to do this adventure style Aquaman when his niche is horror movies. What are you doing, James Wan? So I don't know about this one, guys. Aquaman 2. Listen. Amber Heard's in this movie, so I'm not fully supporting it like that. We all know what's going on with Amber Heard. I'm not going to see it in theaters. If it's on HBO Max, I'm going to check it out. If I get free tickets, I'll check it out. I'm not going to support Aquaman 2 like that. What do you think about these rumors of Aquaman 2 being so bad, people are walking out of the theater for the test screenings? Let me know in the comment section. Yes. Continuing this DC train, we got Shazam 2 apparently looking to underperform an opening weekend. It's going to make less money than the first one. And that's really terrible when you're the studio. You want to see an upward projection for all of these movies, or what's the point? The first Shazam made $300 million. So, and Black Adam underperformed, and he's not even going to cameo in Shazam. And everybody's asking, why should we see these movies? What's the point of seeing these movies if it's not going to continue and there's no motivation behind the universe? It's just there. And people are getting tired of these lackluster storylines, the rushed CGI. This is a problem for DC and Marvel. So, yeah, we are reaching a point with these superhero movies. If it's not fantastic in every way, if you're not putting out that quality and it's worth going to see in the theater, it's not going to do great. It's not going to do great. And that's why people are super hyped for The Flash, because apparently it's super fucking sick and it's one of the best superhero movies of all time. Everybody that's seen it has said it's amazing. They have so much okay, Shazam 2, what do you think? I don't really care about it. I don't care about it. It's fine. The Flash. Warner Brothers is so confident in the Flash movie, they are actually screening this thing 2 months before its release date at CinemaCon. Wow. And I wish I could go to CinemaCon. Tickets are $1,300. That's definitely not an option. So confident they are going to show that movie 2 months in advance. Look what we got. Look what movie we're bringing out. And it's got Ezra Miller in it. They don't care. They're doubling down. He's like, Ezra's good in this movie. Jason Momoa's like, yo, Ezra, Flash it seems like it's going to be amazing. I'm proud of you. Everybody's moving past this Ezra Miller drama. Let homeboy work out his problems, and let's see where the cards fall. Because I keep telling you guys, if this thing is a success, they will keep Ezra Miller around. James Gunn is good friends with Ezra. What's happened with all these DC projects?
everybody that's friends with James Gunn is keeping their jobs. That's what it's looking like. Especially with the Waller series. And then, okay, so that's like the Flash part of the DC news. Continuing with this James Gunn stuff, he has teased more of this Authority project. He's posting screenshots on Twitter, like, the Authority, this is what we're gonna get. He's doubling down on these obscure characters, the Authority, Creature Commandos, getting cast for this animated series. It's already written and is in the process of being cast. And remember, he said the projects that are animated are also going to translate into live action. So whoever's voicing the character is also the live action character. So it's super exciting. I want to know who is going to be in the Creature Commandos. I don't know anything about this project or the Authority, but I'm super interested to see what James has planned, because as far as we know, it could be another Guardians of the Galaxy situation. They are holding up Marvel right now. Guardians of the Galaxy is like the only thing that's really not flopping, and we'll talk about flops in the Marvel section. But as far as Creature Commandos go, I'm really interested to see who plays Rick Flag's father. And yeah, we still have no Superman news, no casting for Superman Legacy. He's well off into this script. He said he was hired to write the script 6 months ago. So this dude's been working on it. And people are super butthurt about, people, they already had Henry Cavill plan to come back and James Gunn was already writing the Superman movie. It's like, listen, James Gunn wasn't in charge 6 months ago. He was hired to write that Superman script. But when he was put in charge, he was like, oh, I'm going to have my Superman be the DCU Superman. There's no point in having Henry Cavill continue on when it's dead. It's a dead timeline. It's a dead franchise. They're not going to have the whole Justice League together. There's no point in putting this whole thing together. No reason to keep stretching it out. So Dwayne Johnson, he filled up Henry Cavill's head with lies, saying, hey, dude, well, it probably wasn't lies, it was conjecture on Dwayne Johnson's part, like, come be in Black Adam, we'll put you in Black Adam, and when that movie blows up, the Warner Brothers is going to want to keep us around, and then we'll fight in the next movie, and then we'll win the fans over, we'll put the fans against the studio again. And he's using the fans, he tried to using the fans as leverage, and it didn't work out. All these Henry Cavill stans should have went to see Black Adam, and it wasn't enough. The general audience didn't care. And when the general audience doesn't care, and the Henry Cavill fans don't even show up to Black Adam, there's a problem. There's a problem. So when it comes to Black Adam, Shazam, the Snyderverse, all that is getting phased out. That's why James Gunn says when Superman Legacy rolls around, that's going to be the true start of the new DCU. And, some actors might stay, some actors might go. But we are in 2023, there's variants. We are in a multiverse world now where there's actors playing multiple versions of the same character. It's just, it's standard now. An actor can play a different character. An actor can play the same character in a different timeline. It's just, even with Marvel, timelines, Earths, they don't care about the logistics like that. Whatever makes sense for their story, that's what they're going to do. It's not that deep anymore. It never was that deep, so all these fans coming up with these crazy theories, this, and this, and this really means this. Like, it's not that deep. They're making these movies for the 95%. Those people, the general audience. These comic book people, these fans on Twitter, buying up the bots to run up the hashtags, the hashtag fire James Gunn and Peter Safran. All these people that are have this uproar, they make up about 5% of the general audience. Let that sink in. That's why these movies are failing. They're so loud on the internet, but when it comes time to actually show up, there's not a lot of people. Y'all are just loud. You are a gnat compared to these studios. They laugh at you. They already have their plans in motion. They hired James Gunn 6 months ago to start writing Superman. Yeah, Henry Cavill was in Black Adam. That was it. He wasn't under contract for anything else. Just Black Adam. He was paid 250 G's per cameo in Shazam and Black Adam. 250 G's. 250 G's. It was a single contract. He wasn't promised anything else. Promises mean nothing in Hollywood. You get what you negotiate. Words come from Robert Meyer Burnett. It's not show friends. It's show business. So, yeah, they don't care about your feelings, people. What do you think about this DC news? Aquaman 2, Shazam 2. The Authority is getting written. They're about to cast Creature Commandos. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's have a little buffer in between this DC and Marvel news, right? We had the Lord of the Rings series prequel on Amazon, right? And it did okay. It wasn't as successful as like a Game of Thrones. And it wasn't as viral like the Game of Thrones spinoff. But it was okay. They are doing a season 2. They already recasted Homeboy, who plays the half elf, half human or whatever. Orc, half, what was it? A half orc, half elf. They already recasted that dude. He's like, I'm good. What does that tell you? So, is this canon with those movies? Well, things just got deeper. Warner Brothers just re-upped their movie rights with the new owners of the Lord of the Rings, the Mancer Group or whatever they're called. More Lord of the Rings? Are we gonna get prequels, spin-offs? Are we gonna get a sequel? What are they doing? More Lord of the Rings content. That's what Warner Brothers has planned. Gonna get a Gandalf prequel? We're gonna get a Gollum movie? We're gonna get a Sam and Frodo spin-off after Lord of the Rings? What are we gonna get? An Aragorn, or what was his name? Aragon prequel? Aragorn. I don't know. What are we gonna get? Lord of the Rings fans, they're not as rabid as like Harry Potter fans. They're more low-key than that. But they are very cautious about what they put their support towards when it comes to Lord of the Rings. His name's Aragorn, right? Yeah. I don't know. Besides the point, what do you want out of a Lord of the Rings franchise at this point? Do you want all these stories to be told? Because, there's the books and then there's what they want to make up. And Warner Brothers has been in contact with Peter Jackson and that whole crew. And if Peter Jackson comes back, I think the fans are going to rally behind whatever Peter Jackson wants to do. Very smart of Warner Brothers to bring back Peter Jackson. Because that's the first thing I asked when Amazon was doing their Lord of the Rings. I was like, is Peter Jackson involved? No? Well, is that really canon then? I don't know about that. Is it? What do you guys think? Are you hyped for more Lord of the Rings stuff? Do you care? Do you want more Lord of the Rings? Do you care about Gollum enough to see a prequel series? Do you want Gandalf to be a young wizard? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Okay, there is some Marvel news. Let's start right off the top. Ant-Man flops in its second weekend. 70% drop. That's one of the biggest Marvel drops ever for the MCU. 70%. That's a bomb. That movie flopped hard. Nobody went to see it. Oh, it made like 100-something million opening weekend. Yep. But its second weekend, it didn't do that. It didn't do that at all. It made like $34 million. Wow. Kevin Feige's like, oh, shit. Yeah, maybe I need to be more involved. Maybe you should have made a good movie, bro. Pump the brakes. There's already rumors. Well, not even rumors. They announced they're slowing down their production. Pulling back on Disney Plus. Echo's pushed. Agatha's pushed. We don't have a date for Secret Invasion. They are scared right now. Marvel is getting They are not on a solid foundation. This is not the end game situation that they wanted to be in post Endgame. I guarantee it. They put all their cards into this Kang character, and when they showed out with Kang, he didn't do much of anything. Homeboy got taken out by ants. He was supposed to be the conqueror. He was supposed to be him. That's him. He wasn't him. If this was Spy Kids 3D, that's the guy. No, he wasn't the guy. He was supposed to show up. Hey, I'm the guy who gets taken out by ants.
Oh, well, the ants were there for thousands of years. Their technology.
What about Kang's technology? What? That Kang he supposedly stomped out Thor? Come on, bruh. What? We're not stupid. The story, the story had problems. The VFX had problems. The artists themselves that worked on Quantumania said, yeah, we were taken off Quantumania to put our resources towards Wakanda Forever. There's your answer. So all these people defending MODOK looking like ass because he's supposed to look like ass. He's supposed to look like shit. No, dude. There's a difference between unfinished CGI and a character designed to look bad. It was unfinished. Even the character poster they dropped for MODOK, it looks better than what he looked like in the movie. They didn't finish the VFX. Everything was blending together. The composition was terrible. The blue screen was apparent, dude. They were on the soundstage, and you got Avatar 2 coming out last month or whatever. Over $1 billion, right? $2 billion or something. Something crazy. And how long did they work on the VFX for that movie? Like 10 years, dude. I'm not saying you have to wait 10 years to do Ant-Man. But if the movie is not finished, don't put it out. Don't rush your VFX, people. What are you doing? And even Wakanda Forever has some bad CGI. That's what they're doing? They're saying, alright, don't work on that movie, go work on that movie. Even though that movie's still gonna look like shit. That one's gonna look even more like shit. No, dude. They need to slow it down. One movie a year. If they can't do great CGI, let's be honest. These superhero movies need CGI. Nobody's trying to make a practical superhero movie anymore, like The Crow, like fucking, like Joker. We got Joker. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to, because I know even if there's gonna be CGI, I know they're gonna take their time blending it in, because they're gonna shoot on location. It's just, what are you doing? And this is a problem for Marvel and DC at this point, because the CGI in Shazam 2 is not that great either. All these people use the same VFX companies, and they're all being stretched thin, and all these movies look like PS3 games, and their shutter speeds, they're blending the shit so it looks blurry, and you guys aren't thinking about it, and the general audience doesn't care, like, oh, it's kind of fun, need some popcorn. And then everybody else is like, what was that? I think I saw this movie. Oh, yeah, in 2005 when Spy Kids 3D came out. We've seen this before. It looked like shit. I rest my case. So yeah, that's the Ant-Man news. Flopped. I'm no longer talking about Ant-Man Quantumania anymore. This is it. This is the last time. Better luck next year. Okay? Kang Dynasty, the writer. He's bringing in Ghost. He's bringing in Namor. He's like, Kang's gonna be killing some people this time. Well, what about when you first introduced him? Well, people on Twitter got at me like, well, Thanos didn't kill anybody when he was first introduced. Listen, the first time that Thanos was a main character, which was Infinity War, he was murking motherfuckers, bro. Kang the Conqueror was a main character in Quantumania. And he didn't murk anybody. Nobody of consequence. The movie ends with no consequence. You can skip that movie and just watch Loki, and you'll be in the same exact position as far as the storyline goes as you were before, as if you didn't even watch Quantumania. So yes, the writer's like, yes, Kang is going to be killing people in Kang Dynasty. No shit. Oh, you think? Really? Oh, I hope he is. I hope so. Or else why are we going to see this movie, dude? You keep comparing Kang to Thanos, but then he's not doing shit worse or as good as Thanos. He's throwing temper tantrums, dude. Temper tantrums. He's throwing a fit. He's not being the conqueror. He didn't conquer nothing. He didn't do nothing. So yeah, my hype for Kang Dynasty, dude, is very... We're still years off from that movie, so I'm just kind of focusing on what's coming out this year. You know, it's just, at this point, bro, Marvel... I want to see the X-Men animated series coming back on Disney+. That's where my hype is for Marvel right now. And we get a season 2 confirmation, so that's a plus. But we'll see. We'll see if the animation sucks, because they're doing a sequel to the 90s series. They better come correct with that animation. That's a whole nother conversation. Kang Dynasty, yeah, my hype level since Quantumania has dropped significantly. You're going to have to convince me with, you know, all the projects leading up to Kang Dynasty if they do a good job. As far as movies, dude, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that's the only thing I'm looking forward to. And that's the last one. People are suspecting these Guardians to show up in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. I think the cast of Guardians is done. James Gunn's done. I think this cast is done. Dave Bautista's done. He's like, I'm done with this. I want to do some real movies. I can't put on this makeup anymore. He's like, I'm over it. So yeah, dude. Kang Dynasty. Are you hyped for it? Are you hyped for Ghost? One of the worst villains in Ant-Man 2. I don't really care. Oh, Ghost is going to be in Kang Dynasty. Yeah, let's get super excited about that. Namor. Let's see what he does with Namor. He was the highlight of Wakanda Forever, but then they kind of just made him be a douchebag for no reason. At least like the villains, like a Loki, you can see why he's a douchebag. Same thing with Thanos. They all have a reason, right? Namor, you know, he didn't have a good reason. He didn't have a good reason. So what do you think about this news, this Kang Dynasty news? Let me know in the comments section. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of Getting Geeked with Danny Allen. It's been a week. Not a lot of news, just a lot of tidbits, right? A lot of news here and there, nothing crazy. You know, Scream 6 is still raging on in the marketing. They're doing pop-ups in West Hollywood out of all locations to get the stabby meal. I wish I was in West Hollywood for that. I would have went. But out of the movies coming out in March, Scream 6 is definitely the top of the top for me. And then John Wick 4, right? I think we all want to see that. Keanu doing his thing. Is it the last one? I don't know. He's going to be in Ballerina. We'll check it out. That's going to be it. Episode 33 of Getting Geeked with me, your boy, Danny Allen. Another week down, another podcast. Getting at ya with this news. Until then, I'll see you later.
Getting geeked. Getting geeked. Getting geeked with Danny Allen. Getting geeked. Getting geeked. Getting geeked with Danny Allen.